The U.S. Department of Education has made it clear to America's public schools federal funding can be denied if race is used as a factor in any educational or administrative decisions. Well, joining us now to discuss this and more is founder and president of Parents Defending Education, Nicole Neely. Happy Friday to you. Good morning.
Thanks for having me.
The Department of Education essentially issued a Dear Colleague letter explaining these non-discrimination requirements under the Constitution and federal civil rights laws. What were the key takeaways of this?
Sure. So what this letter does is it interprets the 2023 Students for Fair Admissions versus Harvard decision, which relates to admissions, and says, we interpret this to mean that discrimination of all forms across all spheres beyond just admissions is discrimination and will be treated accordingly. So anything like a racially segregated affinity group, graduation ceremonies, housing, trainings, lots of things that we have seen both K-12 schools as well as universities do, to them is off limits because the underlying theory is that this is relying upon racial stereotyping, and that in and of itself is a negative, is unconstitutional, and will be treated as such.
Nicole, what's interesting is that there was a response from the School Superintendents Association, and that association represents the leaders of public school districts all across the country. Evidently, it sent out a memo to its members to ignore this letter. Tell me more about this.
Yes, so they sent out this letter saying, all right, guys, the process to pull federal funding is very, very long and slow, and so just ignore the law in the meantime, which is appalling. I mean, you think back to when some of these anti-discrimination laws were passed in the 60s, I mean, if you had the state of Alabama saying, just ignore it, it's going to take forever for your funding to be pulled, people would be up in arms. So I think we're starting to see the resistance regroup. And let's remember, it's not just the superintendents. We have also seen higher ed organizations, the American Association of University Professors, American Council on Education. And this to me is very dangerous because, frankly, Donald Trump is not somebody who I would want to play chicken with in this